Today in the crypto space, we see the market getting a nice green bounce to the upside. Bitcoin at about 27,000 and Ethereum back above that $1,600 mark. The rest of the crypto space, the altcoins are pretty much in the green with some really good gainers. However, guys, is the Bitcoin price going to lead the way to the upside, or are we still in the chop zone? In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one altcoin that is looking really bullish, and I definitely want to cover these charts. And that project is called Tellor Tributes. TRB is the ticker. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of that volatility. And if you appreciate that strategy, subscribe to the channel and click that bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below or hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Guys, feel free to join that Discord. It's a great community. Lots of good alpha trade setups, fundamentals, and all that good stuff. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's begin looking at this general market. We'll talk about the top 100 to see the overall consensus in the market. And then we'll talk about Bitcoin as a leading indicator to see if Bitcoin has a continued strength to the upside. And if it does, you better bet it's definitely going to affect those altcoins. And then finally, the altcoin for today that we're going to talk about is called Tellor Tributes. TRB is the ticker. Guys, it's been a very volatile time for this project, and we definitely need a quick update. I did cover it live in one of the live streams previous. However, guys, we need an update. Okay, so let's begin. Let's take a look at this general market. Bitcoin getting a nice little bounce to the upside, guys. Earlier on today, we did get that relief. Bitcoin was showing strength. I did make a couple of quick announcements on the Discord with regards the Bitcoin was looking strong and it broke out. It did a good little move to the upside, and so did Ethereum. Ethereum right now is slightly outperforming Bitcoin, which leads me to believe that we could be seeing a bit of an Bitcoin dominance drop. It's very possible. We can take a look at the Bitcoin dominance in tonight's live stream, guys. And of course, if you have any projects, any requests for the live stream, feel free to join tonight at 7:30 Eastern, and I'll put your request at the top of the list and main priority. But I definitely want to take a look at the BTC dominance. BTC.D is the chart that you're looking at. We see that Bitcoin is definitely looking a bit strong, and we're seeing the rest of the market appreciating the fact that it is showing strength, right? So if we look at, for example, BNB, double topping, very similar. We got Lido, a staked Ether, looking pretty good because, of course, Ethereum's looking really good. Cardano, a little bit of a pop. Toncoin, a bit of a pop. So you're seeing a little bit of a pop throughout the market. So far in these top 20, we see about, I would say, 2% give or take, which is a good average nonetheless. But, as we come down, we see a little bit more. We see Uniswap up approximately 5%, slightly making that higher high. I'm interested in looking at Uniswap. It's been a while since I've talked about Uniswap, so why not? We can take a look at that one live tonight. AVAX waking up a little bit. AVAX needs to wake up, guys. A lot of these layer ones, Algorand, AVAX, Phantom, a few others, of course, Cardano. These guys need to show a little bit of strength. These guys need to kind of wake up here to show us that, the large caps are layer ones are definitely here to stay, right? We need some proof of life from these guys. So a bit of a bounce to the upside is great. Filecoin looking good. Maker still to the upside, guys. Maker's on fire. Another 4.5% to the upside. In total, about 15.2%, which is really good. But you can see right now it's getting a bit of a consolidation at this top. Maybe Maker is at that level where you should be protecting your gains. So be very careful here. But you can see, although the market is green, there are some projects that are definitely outperforming others, but the overall average is still about 2 to 3%, give or take. Arbitrum, no doubt, is right now one of the top gainers for today, 7.8%. Really good move to the upside. Optimism trying its best to keep up, but not really. So that's something to consider. Aave looking strong, 10%. So there's some good gainers, no doubt. Some projects definitely waking up. Now, a lot of us are thinking that, maybe this could be just a bull trap. Maybe this could be a bull trap. This could be a scenario where Bitcoin is going to be trapping a lot of individuals in long positions and then finally drop on them, right? That could be very possible. Anticipate. This is why risk management is absolutely important. Guys, we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin chart to actually show you what could be happening here with this potential bull trap. I think the bull trap is going to be a bigger picture bull trap where Bitcoin gets up to higher levels and then really gets rejected. But for now, I still feel like Bitcoin is showing a bit of strength to the upside. So if you're in any long positions, what you should be thinking now is how to get defensive, because if you're in some gains, whether it be 2%, 6%, depending on which project you're in, you need to be protecting those gains. With a bit of leverage, you could be up significantly and you don't want to give those gains back to the market. So consider a plan to reduce your position size, which ultimately is reducing your exposure to the volatility in the market. That could happen very, very soon. A bit of a rejection on Bitcoin could see a bit of a dump on these alts. So be careful here. We have Thorchain, Rune waking up 11% to the upside, guys. And we talk about Thorchain once in a while, and we know that, you know, overall Thorchain has this tendency to really move. It really does crank when it does move, right? So that's the thing, moving up very strong, and then we get those retracements, of course. So be careful here. Render waking up ever so slightly, up 3% today. I'm very patient on Render. We'll see if we come down again. And what's happening with Gate, guys? This is not really looking good. This quick spike to the downside, Gate, I'm wondering what's caused this little bit of a dump while the market's looking pretty green. To see an exchange token fall like that, you know, could be a level of FUD right there, but it doesn't look really good, guys. Let me know in the comment section if you know anything about Gate. I'm going to be doing my research right after this video so that we can talk about this live, because I don't know what's happening, but it doesn't look really good. What else do we have here? We have ETH, gold coming down, Pax Gold. What else? Tether Gold coming down. Of course, gold is taking a bit of a hit lately. Actual gold, not these tokenized gold projects, but actual gold has been coming down. KuCoin getting strength while Gate is coming down. Why is that happening? I really am interested there. Frac share looking strong. So the market in general, give or take 3%, some more. Look at Rollbit, 20%, almost 16.6% to the upside. But we got to look at the fact that it did come down significantly in the last little while. So big picture, it's still down. Big picture, maybe we do come down again, retest lower levels, and be able to accumulate on Rollbit, RLB at lower levels once again. Don't FOMO right now, especially on these quick pumps to the upside. If it's up a double digit, just hold off. Look for opportunities to, if you're going to short, look for opportunities. Obviously shorting, there's risk associated. Even going long, there's always risk associated. But if you're looking for long positions, the time to get in is upon a retracement, not upon a green candle like this one. So be very careful here if you're going into a fresh long. In my opinion, not financial advice, you shouldn't be getting into fresh longs when a project is in double-digit gains, right? So that's something to consider here. GMX looking pretty good, and the rest of the market in general. Right now, it's pretty much a green day. It is not the biggest green day, but it's definitely green, and there are some projects, I would say a good 5 of them, that are right now in some good gains. So does this mean that we could potentially be seeing some money flow from Bitcoin as it consolidates in this bottom type of price action? We can see some money flow into altcoins, and we could potentially see some of these altcoins follow Bitcoin's lead if it does continue to the upside in the immediate short term. All right, guys, this is a good one. This is a good day. At least we're getting some green into this price action. Get defensive. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts. Let's begin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, and then we'll take a look at TRB. First, Bitcoin coming down to lower levels, of course, and here hesitating. This is the chop zone. This is the chop zone, and this is why we're seeing some of these alts, do very well, because as Bitcoin goes sideways, as it has done in the past, right? Altcoins take full advantage of this sideways consolidation, because it's boring. Bitcoin is stable. If Bitcoin is stable, there is no gains. And if there is no gains, guess what? Traders are looking for volatility. All right, so let's look at this in a little bit more detail here. We can see that Bitcoin is still within range. Nothing happened, guys, with this pump today. We didn't even make a higher high. And this is something to consider, right? Very consider. It's actually a lower high. A lower high, lower high, lower high, 3 lower highs. We didn't even have enough strength to test this empty volume gap, right? Straight up, straight down price action getting rejected. If we break above that 27,000, let's say $200 level with some conviction, I'm expecting a pop to about 28,880, give or take. I would be front running some TPs out of these buy orders 1 and 2. That's what I'm looking at. However, guys, what is the momentum telling us? We are still in the chop zone, right? 50% mark. And you can see how this chop zone scenario is playing out. Up, down, up. Now, if we stay and remain in this chop zone without creating a higher high on this RSI, basically breaking above this previous high on the RSI, that means that we remain in a chop zone and we can be going sideways here for the next little while. Price action wise, it could just consolidate right into this area for the longest time possible, perhaps even create a nice Bart Simpson pattern and then get that reversal to the upside finally and get completely overbought until the daily time frame doesn't get overbought or oversold. I'm expecting the price to go sideways. That's basically it. I need some signals, but it doesn't mean that we can't trade the 4 hour, which still the 4 hour could give you a bit of volatility to get in and out of the markets on a quick move. And if you can see here, if we got oversold, we got a nice bullish divergence right here, and we are currently getting that follow through to the upside. It's slow and steady. It's a slow grind, obviously with some real rejections along the way. But if you were able to get into oversold conditions, on the bullish divergence, lower lows on the price action, higher highs on the RSI in oversold conditions at a good level, right around the zone, previous supports, not bad. If you were able to get in right at this area, yes, you're in some gains, and yes, you should start to think about getting defensive, especially when we see the 4 hour get completely overbought. When it gets into this zone, that's when you're going to say, okay, you know what, I did pretty good, I got into some good gains. Let's say your average entry was right around here upon a breakout, and right now you're up approximately 3.3%. It's not much on Bitcoin. The 4 hour time frame on Bitcoin is very, very little. Now, if you get into alts, a 4 hour time frame type of move could be 20-50% depending on the project that you're looking at. This is why a lot of people use leverage with Bitcoin, because this type of move is on the 4 hour, it's definitely easy to trade. This is a very profitable scenario, obviously only 3%, but with a bit of a 5x leverage, you could definitely make some good gains. So this is why people start applying leverage on Bitcoin, and the overall market gets over leveraged because they're getting very aggressive. They're starting to see the potential opportunity here. And of course, I know the bulls are looking at this as a potential cup and handle forming right here. It looks like it. It's not the best looking one, to be honest. We got this here that shouldn't exist. A nice WW type of thing, a bit of a higher low, which is nice confirmation low. Now we need a higher high, guys. Unless we get that higher high, there's no real trend reversal here. So could this cup and handle be the opportunity to expect that we end up getting a higher high and maybe snapping to about 28,800? Guys, that's what I'm going to be looking for. If it happens, great. And if it doesn't happen, as soon as we get overbought, done. That's actually very bearish in the sense that we've seen the momentum on the 4 hour get fully overbought, but the price action didn't even break out of resistance, guys. That's a sign of real weakness for the bulls. Unfortunately, a full reset of momentum without price action following through is a very, very weak sign. So we're going to keep an eye on that in the next couple of days, of course, and we're looking at the daily to keep that an eye because we want the daily to get overbought. But again, like I said, if we can keep on consolidating here while this momentum gets a full reset, it is not a healthy sign for Bitcoin. I really doubt it's going to happen, but we'll have to see as it plays out. The time to go long was down here, and now it's the time to potentially wait, trail up those stop losses, maybe up to this level would bring you into a break even type of thing. And that way, if we do break out, be quick to take those profits. Again, front run 28,800, front run that, take a bit of profits, walk away with those gains. All right, guys, let's move on. Bitcoin right now is giving us that indication that it wants to get fully reset. So what does that mean for altcoins? If Bitcoin keeps on moving to the upside to overbought scenarios, altcoins should follow Bitcoin's lead ultimately. But of course, let's take a look at TRB. Of course, TRB, Tellor Tributes. Really great price action, guys. Crazy movements to the upside. Now the question is, should you be getting in? Now, a lot of people might be looking at this fractal, this scenario right here, okay? We did rally up real strong. We did a nice quick pullback, and then we continued consolidation and continued for another leg to the upside. Just realize that every time this happens, every time we get a nice impulsive move to the upside, we essentially, the bears are going to want to start kicking in. The bulls are going to lose their strength to maintain this type of trajectory. It is very parabolic. And you can see that the daily currently, let me kind of show you what's going on here. The daily currently is creating a bearish divergence, okay? So let me make sure that I make my visuals only on current interval only, and you can see the higher highs on the RSI, lower highs on the higher highs on the momentum, lower highs on the RSI, and the MACD is slightly lower high, but remember, the MACD is a lagging indicator. So is the RSI, but the MACD is a lot more lagging, okay? So that means it takes a lot more time for it to actually consider the price action, which means that, you know, as we speak, it is downward sloping. We could end up like this or something like that as this kind of considers the price action. But nonetheless, if it is downward sloping, while this price action is moving up, it just basically means that the bears are going to start wanting to take control of the situation because the bulls are showing weakness. Now, again, look what happened in the past. We pulled back, and then we went for that higher high. Guys, would I be getting into this right now at this current moment? No way. It's very, very risky that this thing could fall right back onto you. Now, is it a bullish project? I don't really know. You know, fundamentally, obviously, it is due for a deep dive. You have to really get bullish here to anticipate what could be happening. But you know that it hit the golden pocket extension level, the 1.618. This level, I put this yellow line in here when we covered this live the other day on the live stream. And I said, this is the time that you have to anticipate to watch out for it. Like if we break out a previous size, 1.27, 1.618 is definitely in the cards, guys. We touched that level absolutely to the dollar and cent. So the reality is that Fibonacci extension levels are the best tool to use once you have almost like a price discovery type of scenario. I know we're not, because we do have price action looking left, but the reality is we came down significantly hard. We've been going sideways for a good little while, and then all of a sudden we start breaking out. Guys, we start breaking out and we have very little resistance above. Look at that. Very little above to suggest any type of rejection. So we hit the 1.618 extension. We got some price action based on the VPVR right around this level that should act as resistance because there's a big volume gap above. There's no volume above. The rest of the area is pretty weak above, and the bears are going to want to step in right now and protect this level. If they don't, guys, this thing could go to all-time highs in price discovery without much effort because there's no supply and demand to hold it down. So this is something that we got to consider here, is that we are in a scenario where the likelihood is that we're going to get a bearish response very, very soon. The volume was epic. Look at this nice strong volume. Now, what kind of retracement should we be looking for or even expecting for the next little while? To be honest, look at this pump, straight up, very strong price action, and a quick retracement that almost, in fact, almost create that lower low. So what am I expecting, guys? Unfortunately, I'm expecting range lows once again. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to come down to the absolute lows again to about 870, but the range lows, which means at the top of the range of these lows at about $20 might be in the works, right? It's just going to take time. Now, think about what could be happening with Bitcoin. I know here I'm on the weekly, but if we go back in the daily, you can see this bearish divergence. We can get 3-4 drives of 4 is very unlikely, but 3 drives of bearish divergence is very possible. In fact, we could come up and again get a nice double top, hit that 1.618, maybe even get a little bit higher, fake people out, and then get that 3rd drive of bearish divergence, which means another low on the RSI with another high on the price action, and then finally roll over after that event because some people will get wrecked. That would be the sweep of the highs, the liquidity grab, and then finally roll over, right? But the reality is the trend is still our friend. It's very parabolic. We're very clear about this. We got this trend line to worry about. We got structure, which is this low. The main structure to break below as we speak is this low, not even this one, because this is a sideways consolidation. We want to make a lower low. This is not even a low. This is the low that we got to watch out for. So let me zoom in a little bit, and then we'll get into the 4 hour to see if we can snipe a quick move or something that can give us an indication, like, you know, maybe to TP. So I'm worried about this area. Okay, and I'm going to make this a bit thicker. Sometimes I do that just to highlight its importance, right? And then we have a volume gap here. right below. We have a little bit of a volume gap right here, but it's not the weakest. We could come down to that level for sure. And you can see that even the VPVR is not giving us a strong signal. The only area that I'm getting a strong signal is right here. If we do come down, this is the time to DCA. Now, I know it's not as low as $8 like we were before, but I don't know if we're going to have that opportunity once again. Like, what about if Bitcoin takes a huge dump on the market? Is it likely that TRB will also take a big dump and maybe start testing range lows once again? What we can see here is the dailies looking bearish divergence, looking for that bearish divergence. And as the bears kick in, we might get a bounce here, get a bit of another shoulder. This could be a shoulder, head, and then another shoulder, and then finally come down. This could be that neckline. This right here. We need a lot more data, of course, but this could be that neckline. Something to consider, right? A deep retracement down to here. Now, if you look at it, what kind of retracement is this using Fibonacci? Swing low, which is right about here, to swing high. Full move to the downside. This is only a 786 retracement. A little bit lower at the point of control, we have about $15. That's the 886 retracement. So this zone is very confluent for a decent pullback type of retracement. Golden pocket, of course, is not bad. We got a bit of a volume gap that could get a reaction. But the reality is, guys, we're going to want to protect this low, which is right here at about $24.88. So overall, my bias is that you should be protecting your gains, guys. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. 4 hours definitely overbought. We got overbought significantly. No signs of bearish divergence just yet. A little bit of a low here. Let's see the response from the bulls here. If we create a higher high on the price action, nice double top, excluding the wicks, of course, and we see the RSI making a lower high, that would be class B, a bearish divergence. So what I'm kind of showing you here is a nice response from the bulls will be healthy. Why? Because we're going to get that confirmation. Let's say we double top and then we finally break down, right? Double top would be good, excluding the wicks, and then we see something like this where the RSI makes a lower high, and that would be class B, bearish divergence. If we make a higher high on the price action and this still happens where the RSI is downward sloping, that would be class A. So we definitely have to pay attention to the 4 hour to see if we're losing a bit of strength here upon the retracement or the rally up to a 1.618 extension. If it's actually going to be a resistance level, you can see this wick shows a lot of those algorithmic sell orders that have that conviction. People on exchanges put those that as a TP zone at $66. That's where we're getting a quick sell-off. But usually the market tends to want to go and test that level again because the trajectory was going up. And the reality is that once this dip happens, everybody that was so bullish might want to buy the dip and test to see if we can actually break out of this area. If we do break out, so be it. Let it happen. Guys, don't get into those green candles. It's really risky to get into those pumps, but at the end of the day, retracements are the best way to do it from a risk to reward ratio opportunity. Guys, I hope this comes down so we can get our chance, but if it doesn't, guys, there's lots of opportunities on a daily basis, and here on the channel, we're always looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter, and if you appreciate that strategy, I encourage all of you, subscribe, click that bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams tonight at 7:30 Eastern. Guys, tonight I'll be covering a lot of projects. If you have any in mind, feel free to join and I'll definitely put them in top priority. Follow me on those socials, guys. The links are in the description. Take care, have a good one, and don't forget, buy the dip.